There were games marketed for girls: Barbie Explorer, Barbie Horse Rider, The Bratz, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And then there were games for boys: Twisted Metal, Fighting Force, Doom. But in 1999, Universal Studios created something in between, inspired from the TV show with the same name, a hack and slash title that, despite its poor reviews and unconventional cover, it's an actual hidden gem. So sit tight, because today we're playing Xena, the Water Princess. Training arena. Let's check the options first. Classic me investigating everything I can. Today I came to the realization that I don't do this for the sake of the videos, but out of pure curiosity. Now let's head to the training arena, which is where you can get a first grasp of what the game is. Some of you guys are too young to know what a loading bar is. And here we are. As you can see, solid looks, some diversity in controls and mechanics, maybe the clunkiest camera work I've seen in my lifetime, but if you see this with the consideration that this is a title that came out in the 99, it's okay. Low expectations oftentimes come with surprises. First impressions in, time to play the story of the game. Quickly, follow the trail to Oíbalos and watch out for the pirates along the way. Across the game we're going to find several of these scrolls, usually telling us details of the lore or tips and tricks. Off the rip you can tell it's a very ordinary linear game, but the environment of the adventure, it's quite spacious and well set. The way to Oíbalos. The combat is definitely the strong suit of Xena. There is so many different sets of attacks and combinations, you can approach every combat however you see fit. And if you ask me, that is extra points. My favorite part, the chakram. I don't know the story or the show, but seems like this is her signature weapon. You just throw it and you can even control the blade in the air. You missed? It comes back no matter what, like a boomerang. Not to mention, way more effective than your melee weapons. The people we're fighting are pirates doing pirates things, of course, raiding or looting for whatever reason. As we make it to the village, we see a bald friend of Xena. We barely exchange words as he tells us,
"Barbarians are destroying our village, and they're looking for...
For what? He dies in a cliffhanger way, leaving us with the doubt. Xena promises vengeance, and we get a summary that signifies the end of the level. You get the opportunity to save your game in between stages, and after the next one we go. Inside the village, things only get more chaotic. Pirate barbarians are everywhere, wreaking havoc and threatening the lives of helpless peasants. Our mission is clear: save as many villagers as we can before moving forward. It's here where the chakram comes in handy. We just hit a nasty knee shot and they easily fall. We save every hostage that we can and decided to put a stop to the invasion. Now we push forward straight into the source of this madness. Seems like to stop us from catching up to them, the pirates have set the gates on fire. There is no way around, and no extinguisher either, so we're dealing with this scorching barrier one way or the other. After a set of extensive box jumps, yes, Xena does CrossFit. Why does she look so surprised? We find a conveniently well-placed water tower that, with the help of physics, we bring down, dropping water on the burning wooden doors. With the path now open for us, we can proceed to clear the remaining pirates and find their captain. Pactolus is his name. Let's bring him down and see what's his reasoning behind this attack. Press X and circle simultaneously to give Pactolus a low blow. Wonder what kind of low blow we're talking about. The boss fights in this game are fun. They are a glorified minion, but they have their charm and difficulty. They definitely give you a run for your money. Oh, so that's what a low blow is. We confront the evildoer about his reasons, and he confesses being paid by a King Valerian. His sole mission was just to distract Xena, while they kidnapped her friend Gabriel in the process.
They took her to his castle on the island of Kronos.
This King Valerian better have a big army.
And seems like we have a person to save, a destination, and more important, a mean of transportation. Don't ask me why, but there is a huge Cyclops waiting for us on the island, and he's throwing rocks at us. I'm not sure what kind of fantasy world we're in, but this is cool either way. Secondly, did Xena just casually drive that ship by herself? This Cyclops never heard of melee combat, given that he keeps launching stuff at us. Thankfully, this helps to clear our path, since we're baiting the rocks to whatever is blocking the way. Here and there comes this guy that's supposed to be Ares. He doesn't do anything but antagonize Xena and say stuff like,
If you try to fail and succeed, which have you done? You'll have
And I know he's a god and all that, but help me or don't waste my time. Keep it up and I'll see you when I'm Kratos. By the look of this sign, we're almost at the place of King Valerian. But not before having a standoff with our one-eyed friend. The beast wants a standoff, and without rocks, he's not very menacing. Chakram to the blinker, and that opens our way to slice his fingers. He falls down, never to be seen again. Classic gaming had this thing where in some stages they will never tell you the way to get past certain areas or bosses. This guy right here, he's no bigger than the Cyclops, right? But you're not getting past him whatever you do or throw at him. So I ended up wandering for a bit. You can see it now too, huh? Experience ruined. Turns out, if you bother some beast, they will follow you and you can direct them towards the giant and he'll fall from the bridge we're trying to cross. Level complete. After swiftly defeating everyone in our way, we made it into the Valerian's castle, place where everyone is expecting us. This becomes an endurance test, since there is no place to go. Stormans are okay to deal with, even when they come in bulk. You just have to take your time. The real problem is the archers. These guys invented the auto-aim, on top of being unreachable most of the times. Pawns defeated, the king makes a move. Comes out with his personal guard, that sincerely were troubling me until I started just spamming the buttons. It's effective since some enemies have firing animations that you can interrupt this way. Valerian on the other side, we don't even have to fight. We put him to the wall and he starts talking. Turns out Gabriel has been chosen as a sacrifice. Of course we're going to stop it. Again, don't ask me why, but the king uses the Instagram filter to turn himself into a massive ball that runs into the water well, I believe. What the flip? We go down there as well, and turns out we are in a maze, full of spiders and bottomless pits. The deeper we go, we found that Valerian will charge at us at given corners. Honestly, the massive ball loses its intimidating features when he is just running away from us. But if we keep pushing, we're bound to find the torture chamber, place where we can finally find Gabriel. We cannot free her until we deal with the Minotaur. Holy! The ball was proven to be a difficult challenge until I read the only scroll that was in the room. I was so locked in I didn't even read it out loud. So yeah, the Chakram saved the day once again. Doesn't make sense how easy that was, but given how many times I died in this game so far, I'm not gonna complain. Our helpless friend is finally saved. We're going home, right? No. Some renegade Amazons plotted in the kidnapping, so we're gonna go pay them a visit. The whole scenery and mission is awesome. Maybe the only downside is having to protect Gabriel. I wish we were here to visit, but we're just here to spread violence. We get a wooden staff that's quicker and more effective against these new enemies, the Amazons. They are a real problem since they don't let you to even process a thought. Oh, and I don't know how or when, but Gabriel got captured again. The queen of the Amazons confesses to her crimes and shows no remorse.
Your friend will stand in for me quite nicely.
My mouth have too many teeth, she said. Easily one of the most difficult boss fights I've ever dealt with. Straight out of a From Software game. But up until this point in my life, there is no game I have been stuck yet. It's quite the dramatic retry screen. This time for real, we defeat the Amazonic Majesty herself, and turns out they were plotting with this witch that appears out of nowhere.
Who are you? I am Calabrux.
Sorcerer with many powers and titles that is not going to allow Xena to interrupt her attempts to sacrifice Gabriel. I still don't get what's so special about her. Calabrux uses her evil powers to literally open the earth and throw us into the middle of it. I don't know if this is a cave or hell. One thing I know is that thing is a dragon and it's walking my way. Xena has again made many things right, and the boss fights it's one of them. Also, it reminds me of this Yu-Gi-Oh card. The way we're getting rid of the lizard, it's very similar to a boss we dealt beforehand in Rayman 2. We just needed to shoot the conveniently well placed stalactite so it falls down directly on the boss. This was surprisingly easy for the context that we're in. There you go. Now we have to find a way back to the surface. Like I've stated before, I don't know where we are, but there is zombies everywhere, deadly traps and puzzles, huge trolls again, and there is lava all over the place. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this hell. Apparently we're close to Hades' ring, so if we somehow get to him, he'll get us out. Also, I just realized they're stone golems, not trolls. Sorry to whom I might have offended. Since Hades is the god of the underworld, it makes sense that we've been running into all sorts of creatures for him, well down there. But I just want to point out that there is actual ghosts down here as well, and they're not just background decor. These things are lethal, like one hit you're out, and apparently the only way to get past them is to free them, or maybe solve some ancient puzzle. I'm not entirely sure what just happened. I just took down some green torches and they left me alone. So I'm calling that a win and moving on before they change their minds. And voila, we successfully finished a dungeon in hell difficulty. literally, and made it to Hades' castle, where we explained the situation to him. He seems oddly friendly for all the things that Xena has been through on her way here. He says Calabrax needs to be stopped, and also offers to teleport Xena to a place where the key to defeating the evil witch is. The object we're searching for is the lyre of Orpheus. Sounds like it is a musical instrument. I'm not sure how that's gonna help, but okay. I don't make the rules, I just swing the sword. The village that holds it, it's being raided by fanatical druids, who are also searching for the same thing. The villager we speak with advises us to use stealth, and that is great advice because if you don't, you're going to learn very quick. They enhance the enemies of this level with sports banned substances. This is one of my favorite levels, since after so much hack and slash, there is some degree of strategy thrown into the mix, and it's a long one. To get through the village, there are two main objectives. First, find the bridge that leads to the temple. Secondly, find the lever that actually lowers said bridge. Of course, the order is totally up to you, that's just how I tackle it. All this while trying to sneakily execute the druid soldiers, or maybe just deal with one at a time. Bridge cross, and now deeper into the village, we stumble upon yet another crisis. Soldiers threatening the life of the village elder, and of course he knows where the lyre is. Why? Because he's the elder. That's basically the job description. Taking them down isn't a challenge. At this point, enemies are not on steroids. But then comes the real pain, escorting the elder to the temple. I really hate these protected scenarios because the person you're protecting walks like he's out on a Sunday stroll, like he's got plot armor or enlightenment, maybe both. Meanwhile, the enemies don't even target you. They just go straight to the defenseless tear of a man. The man saw the light at the end of the tunnel and still could not be bothered to pick up the pace. Ooh. The next level begins, and that's the last we see of him. He didn't say thanks or goodbye. I'm guessing we should be thankful for saving his life. Beware the druid sorcerer, drive him into the great temple to find the lyre of the Orpheus. Seems like we're almost at the temple. Yet, the name druid sorcerer strikes me as a boss fight. Oh shoot. Because you never know. The druid sorcerer is really no joke, although you've been through quite the battlefield up until this point in the game, so you really feel confident in taking these fights, whether they are from range or fighting minions to get to the summoning source. He does need to be defeated in two phases. Second one is more like a puzzle evade kind of thing, but it's still great nevertheless. I just realized he kinda wears his mask in the same way as Shao Kahn. Mage defeated, artifact acquired, we're ready to play some Liar Hero to save Gabriel once and for all. But the moment to use the instrument is not yet here. We are in some mythical mountains on the way to Calabrax. The creatures we're bound to find are also from a mythical origin. First up, the Gorgon sisters, bow-wielding snakes with a lot of HP that just like the Medusa, they turn you into stone in a matter of seconds. It's here where I take a stop to praise the game again, because they kept the gameplay so varied that the word repetitive is no near to be an adjective that describes Xena. I failed this fight a couple of times because I was overthinking. I really like to elaborate an intricate step-by-step plan to make the most and receive the least damage. And even though it was barely working, I was making my life harder, especially since there is 3 of these snakes to defeat. The moment I became free is the moment I realized that I can just say screw it and spam the buttons while praying to Arthur Morgan. And you know what? It worked. We don't care about methods, we care about results. Yeah, I think this is level 20. And there's 21 levels, if I am not mistaken. 21. And just like you heard, this is the second to last level. Spoiler, this is one of those stages that's worse than the actual final boss. There is a gate that is no normal gate. To open it, you need to defeat 5 huge ogres. The ones that cannot be defeated, but only thrown out. On really small platforms, crossing really thin bridges while being harassed by whatever this is. Peak platforming you're witnessing right now. Things are looking better. Took me a good 30 minutes. Ares makes an irrelevant appearance once again, and we can now activate the door. Oh, the key to defeat Calabrax? The instrument could just do what the instructions say. It plays a melody that we have to follow, so the previously mentioned door is accessible. I understand it helped us to get there, but how is that a key to defeat her? I was expecting much more, I don't know, deafen her or something along those lines. We finally make it to the temple, and there she is, Calabrax, with Gabriel tied up, seconds away from being sacrificed. But apparently, Calabrax Red Villain 101, because instead of just finishing the ritual, she pauses dramatically and decides to fight us, even though Xena hasn't even announced her presence yet, and just like that, the final standoff begins. I really enjoyed this final fight. First, you fight her 2 guards, which are not easy, but I'm not playing games, so I cut right through them. Calabrax, on the other hand, is quite tricky. She does nothing special, but being too fast, so you cannot be doing any mistakes. Looking back at this while editing, I can say this is a great game. We're just about to save Gabriel and ride off into the sunset when when of course something demonic shows up right before the credits roll. Just when I thought the game was over, the witch transforms herself into a bull. Seriously, what is it with the bulls in this game? This one is completely unbeatable, you cannot fight it. One thing you do notice when he charges like the animal he is, it actually destroys the columns in the temple. So by logic, if he smashes out enough pillars, the whole thing is going to collapse. I'm taking my chances that somehow we can make it out alive that way. Not an easy task. I cannot complain since this is the final boss, this time for real. The demonic ball is super fast and the camera work is not bad, but terrible. Took a lot of tries and patience, but just like it was forecasted, the whole place is going down, and the only safe spot in the place is right where Gabriel was, being held. We can see how everything is down to ruins. Xena and Gabriel are perfectly fine thanks to plot armor, and talk about what to eat next. Xena grabs a snake because allegedly tastes like chicken, and the credits start rolling. A very fitting end to an unconventional ride. Not a masterpiece by any means, but definitely a hidden gem. Hopefully this serves as a reminder that games can be good, even if the media doesn't always say so. Good game, but I'm glad that it's over. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It helps me out a lot and it might help others find the video too. Reminder that you can follow me on my other socials, where you can tell me what your favorite type of pizza is. Thank you for watching the video until this part, and with nothing else to say, good night.